Hey guys, today we're going to be looking at some Raze grenade spots on Ascent. Raze's grenades are not just great for getting kills, but they can also be used to force enemies to move from cover, stall defuse attempts, and to allow Raze to gain map control. First, let's have a look at some grenades for defending A site. This is a really cheeky spawn nade which you might be able to use once or twice in a game. As soon as the round starts, you can throw a grenade over this wall, and if the enemies are pushing up here, it will damage them. This one's also good because it means that you can push up here without being worried about someone peeking this angle if you want to play aggressively. But I wouldn't do this too many times because they'll know that you're about to do it, and if you just chuck your grenade there every single round, you just waste it most of the time. If the enemies are just about to push around this corner, you can bounce grenades off this wall, or even from up here, like that, just if they're stacking up on that side of the wall. One tip to know is that if you throw a grenade against the wall, it bounces a little bit, but if you sprint and jump, it bounces much further off. So that's a useful tip to know, just in some areas of the map. This next grenade spot can be used on attack or defense. If someone's planting or defusing behind this box, from the walkway up here, you can run and jump at this wall. Bounces over the wall, and it'll explode anyone behind the box or to the side, and that's good because you don't have to reveal yourself to the whole of site to throw it. So yeah, either if you've planted the bomb and you're trying to defend it, or if you're hearing the enemy team plant it and you don't want to have to peek, you can use that one. A nice unique spot for this map is if this door is closed, you can chuck the grenade through here. So if you're just doing a normal throw without jumping, just aim at the peak and it will always go through. Get anyone in there. You can do a similar thing from this side if this door's closed, and just throw it through the hole. And that'll get anyone hiding on either side of this doorway. You can throw a grenade from A link into mid, just to slow an enemy push up mid if your team's getting overwhelmed, just to through this gap here. You have to play around with it a bit because there's a roof up here. I'll show you the roof. So you have to get it over here and down there. You'll probably get the like the scatter effect from the grenades. You won't be able to get the full grenade to land at a height where it will damage them. Like that, and that will stop them if they're trying to rush up. There are a couple of grenade spots that allow you to take some control in mid early in the round for defense. Normally your like Brimstone or Omen would smoke here and here just so you can push out, but their other team might also be trying to do that. So if you use this grenade from spawn, just run and jump, sprint, and then it'll bounce off that wall. This will stop anyone from pushing out this way through smokes, so it will mean that you can definitely push up without having to worry about this angle and only have to worry from up here. Similarly, you can actually grenade over there if you run and jump. Stops anyone pushing out. But to do this, you have to be exposed from this angle, so it's pretty dangerous. So I much prefer to use that one, watch this angle to push out, and lets you get a bit of courtyard control. Hopefully this bit will be smoked off by someone, so you should be pretty safe to use this one and push out and get some control. Another grenade to know is that in mid, you can right click throw this one over the wall, just like that, and you'll get anyone hiding in this corner, which is a relatively common spot for people to be holding. Another way you can do it is bounce it off this ledge up here, like that. If you can't get up onto this ledge, you can do a similar thing on this side. Finally, let's have a look at defending B site. So I'm sure everyone's been in a position where there have been grenades chucked through this window. There's a couple of ways to do them. You can either chuck it off the roof here. That just does it here. You can do a very similar grenade from up here. You can sort of run and jump this way, aiming just below the window. And that one blows up sort of at a worse height for the enemy team to deal with, and it goes deeper into here, because there's less time to react to it coming from there, where it's blowing up sooner than if you do it here, where they can like hear it bounce off the wall. Like whilst it's bouncing around, you can move away from that position. One cheeky little trick you can use is you can sit here with your grenade out and you can listen for the orb to be taken, and then you can bounce it off the top here, blowing up anyone in this area. Depending on sound cues, you can actually just bounce it off the roof as well, if you know that they're in the corner rather than pushing further down. These early round grenades are quite good to do with a Sova bolt, like a Sova recon bolt. Either if the bolt gets destroyed or if it highlights someone, you can chuck the bolt through, and then as it's going through, just throw your grenade and they'll be distracted with the bolt, and you'll know if they're there or not, so you won't be wasting your grenade. If you've been defending A or mid and you know that they're planting, you can just throw onto the default plant spot from there. When you're attacking A site, there's a very similar grenade to the first one I showed, where you can line yourself up there. You can see the archway, just throw your grenade over, and it will push anyone back who's trying to push out this doorway, letting you take a bit more control of A main earlier in the round. There's a few grenades I like from on top of these boxes, so you can come onto this bike, run and jump, and then spam crouch as you're about to hit this box, and then you'll get up onto it, like that. So the first one I like, you can do it off this cannon, just a normal throw. And this stops anyone hiding in this position, especially if the door's been closed. You'll know that someone's in this area, and that can get them to damage easily. Especially if you have a teammate holding this angle, it will force them out of it, and there'll be an easy kill. You can do a similar thing to someone on the boxes, if they're on top of those boxes. Just throw it against this wall, jump and throw. Forcing them off that area. And if someone's holding this angle this time, they'll be forced out and you'll be able to kill them easily. The final one's onto rafters, so you can run and jump off this ledge. You want to make sure that this area is clear. Yeah, you want to be running and jumping. And that just clears anyone who's holding that angle tightly, and it can let your team push in, especially if you don't have smokes or something like that. It will just give you a little bit of time to get into sight, and you won't be so easily shot in the open when you're coming through this doorway. If you have managed to get the spike down, you've closed this door, and the enemies were coming through A-link, you'll know that they're going to be going up into garden, so you can actually grenade garden from here. So you want to run and jump and throw the grenade against this screen. And this, as they rotate up trying to get into rafters, do tons of damage on them. Remember, you can also throw through that hole if they're trying to camp the other side of this or they're shooting through it. You'll be able to stall them or do damage to them through there. For attacking through mid, it's actually quite hard to use grenades in this area, because if you put a grenade here, say, you can still be holding this angle from further back. Same with here. They can rush this way and take cover and hardly take any damage from here, so I don't like using grenades in this area. A couple I like doing is the same trick as on defense. You can throw them up off here and down, just if someone's camping on either side of this wall. If you know someone's in market, it's a very easy grenade just to throw in, and that'll just push them off that angle, letting you walk up a bit. You can do a similar grenade if enemies are holding that back area, or if you know people are rotating from A, just throw it over the wall. And that'll just give your team a bit of a chance to walk up this area without anyone peeking them from there, and you only have to worry about market or in this cubby. Finally, for B site, there's some pretty obvious ones, just chucking them like at mid market and stuff like that. That'll just keep people off that angle. You can do a very similar one for the back of spawn as well. Those don't really need lineups, you just need to be playing with Raze's grenades for a bit to learn like how to know where to throw it. One I quite like is if there's enemies over this wall, you can use the right click throw just to dunk it over. Although you can do the similar thing where you just bounce it off the roof as well. If you planted the bomb around here and the enemy team's retaken site and you want to be able to stall a plant for a few seconds, you can bounce a grenade off this windowsill. So you want to run and jump whilst throwing it, just so it bounces further off into sight. Like that. And that's the default plant spot, and it'll just stop anyone defusing for a little bit, allowing you to have a bit more time to maybe make your play push into sight. If there's an enemy player playing within the site on the little corner box, you can do an underarm throw through this window. Just run and jump and throw with the right click. And it will just get anyone hiding there. That can be helpful if your team are pushing in and they know someone's on site. It will just clear out that angle for them. Hopefully this video has shown you that Raze's grenades can actually be a useful tool to gain map control, rather than just something to get easy kills with. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I've made loads of other content for Cypher and Jett, so check that out on the end screen. Thanks for watching!